If you are using Power BI, there are 5 DAX formulas you will use in almost every project, and getting them right saves hours. I will show you my top 5 in this video, but if you want the full list of top 10, you can download PDF file for free, link in the description. DAX formula number 1. Sum and SumX. I combine them together because they perform the same calculation. However, the syntax is different. First of all, sum. Everyone's aware and know this formula works exactly the same way as in Excel. So it adds all the numbers in a column. That's an aggregation function. Easy. What about SumX? SumX is quite different due to its syntax. SumX takes two arguments. Very first one is a table and then the actual expressions. What it does, it returns the aggregated sum of expression evaluated for every row in a table. What do we mean by that? Let's look at this example on the bottom. First, I'm providing the table financials, which contains two columns, units sold and sales price. In that example, we are assuming that I do not have gross sales, which is the result of multiplication of these two columns. Hence, I need to perform this calculation on the fly within my measure that I'm creating here. And what it does, it performs calculation for every row in financials table, and then it aggregates the result of that and sums it up for every row altogether across the whole table. So the result of these calculations is the same. Here is the sum of gross sales, and you can see the result here in the first column, and then sum X is the same result but calculated in a different way. Distinct count, again, everyone's aware of that, but we cannot go without mentioning this one. Distinct count is the one that you're gonna use almost in every project. It counts the number of distinct values in a column. Syntax is very simple. You just need to provide the column name from a particular table. Next, calculate function. This is the most important function in DAX. You must learn how to use it. It's a very effective function that is used almost in every project. And also, if you want to progress and advance your knowledge in DAX, then you definitely need to understand how that function works first. Calculate is a context modifier. It enables you to change the behavior of the calculation in a certain scenario whenever and however you need it. So first of all, let's have a look at the syntax. It accepts multiple arguments. First, you need to provide an expression, for example, sum. And then next, you can provide multiple filters, as many as necessary. And in the example on the bottom, you can see that I'm using filter on a country column for those rows that are equal to Germany. So this is where I'm modifying the context for the sum calculation. So I'm only performing aggregation of gross sales for the rows equal to country Germany. Let's look at this PBIX example. So in the first column, I'm using sum across the whole table, gross sales across all the countries, everything what I have in my table. And then sales in Germany, I'm filtering the calculation of gross sales only for the Germany. So that's where we are modifying the filter context here. By the way, all the syntax examples are in this free top 10 must know DAX functions PDF file. If you want to get your hands on it, feel free to download. Link down in the description under this video. Another very commonly used function is filter function. Filter function is a table DAX function that enables you to perform a filtering on a selected table. It accepts two arguments. The first argument is the table itself, and second is the filter expression. So if we look at the example at the bottom, you can see that I'm utilizing SumX function, which we already discussed with you previously. And now we are introducing filter function inside there. So what we are trying to do here, we first trying to filter our table only to the rows that are equal to high discount, and then we are performing multiplication of units sold with sales price so that we can get the aggregated total sales for high discounted items. Another function that is very useful to know is all function. All function enables you to perform percentage calculation. To perform calculation for a particular row, you need to remove the filter context. What do I mean by that? If we look at the example on the bottom, I have total sales for a certain segment. Let's say I would like to calculate the percentage of total sales for channel partners across all segments. So percentage wise, I just want to know what's the share of total sales belongs to channel partners. In order to do that, I would need to create this third column that will enable me to remove the filter from segment so that I'm always getting total for every single row. Now let's have a look what the syntax for all function is. The syntax is very simple. We either provide the name of the table or the name of a particular column. That way we are telling DAX to ignore filter from either that table or from that column, but keep all other filters that are applied. We typically use all function inside calculate function, which we already know about, and we would typically use it in the second argument where we are providing the filter for the calculate function. In that example, we are telling to remove filter from segment column, and every time when the segment filter is introduced, we're gonna ignore that and perform calculation of total sales across all segments. And there you have it. So those were top 5 must-know DAX functions, which are part of my top 10 must-know DAX function PDF pack that I have created for you guys. Feel free to download it. It's got examples. It's got 5 more DAX functions that you can use as a cheat sheet. Next time you're working on another Power BI project, you can just refer to it and simply easily can see how functions work and which one you need to introduce. I think it covers 90% of all Power BI projects, to be honest. That's why I think it's going to be useful for you guys. PBIX file is also available for you from the link down in the description, along with that PDF pack. Thank you.